is meant to salvage the country's economy from persons who have hoarded over 80% of the currency out of bank vaults, apparently for criminal enterprises. Senator Ali Ndume moved a motion to extend the circulation of the old notes. The motion was seconded by Senator Adamu Alero. Mr. Ndume argued that the time for the withdrawal of old notes from circulation needed to be longer, especially for his constituents in southern Borno, where years of insurgency has limited the availability of banks. It will be recalled that the World Bank had expressed concerns over the impact of the Naira redesign on Nigerians' livelihood, stating the tiny and short transition period may have adverse effects on the country's economic activities. The Nigeria Police Force has assured the citizens of maximum security, adding that the 2023 general elections will hold in all designated places across the country. The Force Public Relations Officer, Mr. Moyiwa Adejobi, gave the assurance on a television program, saying there is no cause to be worried by pockets of violence in some parts of the country. According to him, the NPF, in conjunction with other agencies and stakeholders, has been taming insecurity, adding that the 2023 general election will be held without any security breach. Adejobi also said Inspector General of Police Usman Akalibaba was awaiting a report from the Lagos Office Command to begin criminal proceedings against a policeman, Drambi Vandi, who killed Mrs. Bolanle Rahim, a lawyer and expectant mother, on Christmas Day in Niger, Lagos State. A coalition of women groups under the aegis of Manifesto has called for justice for the murder of Omobolanle Rahim, a member of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos branch, who was shot by Assistant Superintendent of Police Drambi Vandi. The convener, who manifested Dr. Abiola Akiyode Afolabi, in a statement said that the group is appalled by a murder and called on Lagos State government and the Nigerian police to prosecute ASP Vandi. She called for speedy, thorough, transparent, and open investigation, noting that the Nigerian Constitution is clear on the right to life of citizens as a fundamental human right, which cannot be taken by anyone unlawfully. The human rights lawyer described the killing of Omobolande as unnecessary and preventable, urging the Nigeria Police Force to show accountability for the death and several others. President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the Federal Produce Inspection Service Bill to the House of Representatives for consideration. In a letter addressed to the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, the President said that he took the action pursuant to Section 58, Subsection 2 of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The Federal Produce Inspection Service Bill seeks to provide for the inspection and enforcement of grades and quality standards of produce and commodities intended for imports into or exports from Nigeria at ports of shipment and for related matters. The federal government has said that poor implementation of Child Rights Act in Nigeria is constituting a serious threat to the effective reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of vulnerable children into society. The government also emphasized the need for extensive implementation of CRA, but proposed guidelines for Nigerian courts to consider the age, mental capacity, and vulnerability of children involved in a particular case. The Director of Criminal Justice Reform Department, Federal Minister of Justice Letitia Ayola Daniel, stated this during a sensitization workshop in the FCT. The event aimed to adopt a draft of adjudication guidelines for children and young persons in conflict with the laws in the Federal Capital Territory. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission said it has concluded plans to sell landed properties which are subject of final forfeiture orders. The Commission had announced the commencement of the auction exercise with advertorials in major newspapers inviting bids for the properties. EFCC head of media and publicity, Wilson Wajoren, said in a statement that interested persons or organizations have until January 9, 2023 to submit their bids. The properties consisting of 61 units of luxury apartments, plots of land and apartments across the country are being offered for sale under the EFCC Establishment Act 2004, Public Procurement Act 2007, and the Proceeds of Crime on Recovery and Management Act 2022. Wajare said that the auction is open to members of the public with the exception of employees of the EFCC, individuals and corporate entities who have been prosecuted by the EFCC. And moving on to sports, Nigeria Rugby Football Federation has revealed that it will organize a coaching program for World Rugby certification in coaching 7s and 15s, refereeing, strength conditioning, and medical first aid, according to the general manager of the NRFF, Aziz Ladipo. The program will hold in February next year in Abuja. He maintained that the coaching course would afford Nigerian coaches to learn more about modern techniques in rugby so as to improve the standard of the game across the country. He stated that the current NRFF board was striving hard to reposition the game in the country after the ban on Nigeria rugby was lifted recently by the international body. He advised those who are interested in the program across the states to register for it in their area of interest and also indicate their rugby club and state they represent. While on the foreign scene, Uzbekistan's health ministry has said that 18 children have died after drinking a cough syrup manufactured by Indian drug maker Mariam Biotech. The ministry said that preliminary tests showed a batch of the medicine contained ethylene glycol, a toxic substance. The children were given the Doc 1 Max syrup without a doctor's prescription. The amount they consumed also exceeded the standard dose for children. The allegation from Uzbekistan comes weeks after the Gambia also linked child deaths to cough syrups made by another Indian firm. India's health ministry said in a statement that its officials have been in regular contact with the national drug regulator of Uzbekistan regarding the matter. It added that the health officials have conducted an inspection of Mariam Biotech's facility in Noida in Uttar Pradesh state, while samples of the cough syrup have been taken from the manufacturing premises and sent to regional drug testing laboratory. Still on the foreign scene, at least 10 people have been killed in a huge fire at a Cambodian hotel and casino on the border with Thailand. The blaze broke out at a city hotel and casino in the border town of Poipet, with almost 400 people in the building when it caught fire. Reports say people were jumping and falling from upper floors, including Thai nationals who were in the hotel, which backs onto the border, while authorities are still working to determine the cause of the fire. Some of the injured were transferred to hospitals in Thailand's Sakui province. Poipet is a key crossing point between the two countries, and it is popular for its casinos, which many Thai nationals visit because gambling is mostly illegal in Thailand. And that ends the media news on Osbc TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. Do join us at 3 for the state news. Good afternoon.